longer than was expected. I had a few errands and things to run. How's everybody doing? I pushed the show back many of times. Sorry about that. And I changed the title even. Because I had 3 shows I wanted to do, and I felt most motivated to do this one. Imagine that, having too much to talk about. Me, never. Hi, how you doing? Who's here? I might have to adjust some things here to see the screen. Huh? You guys get to deal with my funky pink glasses. Hope you like. A little bit of a glare. Super Champ was already here for the other one. I'm gonna do that show later. I don't know who's here right now, but yeah, the new show title was about the Georgia GuideStones, the lead world government, the I don't know. There's so many words that are thrown around. The singularity, perhaps. Trained monkeys, clowns, magicians. And trained monkeys is maybe where I want to start this show. What's up in here? What's up, Rompy? What's up, Ronke Cerveza? What's in here? Aaron, what's going on? What's up, Skull? Oh, a bunch of people just got back here. Cool. Welcome. Okay. I guess let me get this thing fired up and we'll get going. And I'll remind everybody, I'm at the end of my beer budget, and it's not even close to the end of the month. So, if anybody wants to purchase me a beer or coffee or whatever, feel free. You know how to do it. It's in the description box beneath. CashApp, PayPal, that shit. Let's start off with Trained Monkeys and the NWO, the New World Order, and we're going to talk about it in a good way, and we're going to talk about the Georgia GuideStone. And we're going to try to, as I did last show, I was talking about this slightly, was flipping the script and the narrative on things, because there's a lot of benefits to things that are popularly theorized as, I don't know. I don't want to say conspiracy theorist type shit, but negative in the light of, it's these evil people that want something to rule the world. And I'll try to give you a couple ideas on how it could be a good thing. And some inevitabilities. The reason, I mean, I'm sure most people probably assumed I thought this way anyways. So let's get right to it. And I think it maybe the tip-off, the tipping point for me was, I watch a few videos on alternative sources besides the Instagrams and the YouTubes. And it's, it's always the people that have eaten of the apple. They've been stabbed by someone. And they have a lot of disregard for people that have not been eating the apples. And in fact, what I want to title this is it's always in the eyes. You look at somebody's eyes, you can tell if they're soulless. You can tell if there's anything there. If the light's on but nobody's home, are they demon seeds? You can hear it in their voice too. You can hear it in their voice whether they're trustworthy or not. But you can see in their eyes whether they're perhaps demons, or filled with something, or just empty vessels of something. And these people I would call, they're either zombies at this point, or trained monkeys, or demonic, or something, right? I mean, certainly they've had things put in their body that they're not sure of what it is and what's going on there. They have already probably had a pretty awful habit of deities or diet, things they've consumed. both through the media sources and their mouth, their ears and their eyes, you know what I mean? Probably not doing so well. And I see there's one where, and this is of many, somebody's eaten up the apple, somebody's gotten stabbed. Is just happy for a second and saying so happy that now the 5 to 12-year-olds can catch a stabbing, become stab victims. Was happy about it, and then said all bets are off as soon as the 2-year-olds, because she's got a baby sitting on her lap, a 2-year-old, and then starts getting very aggressive and angry about people that have not been stabbed and have injuries and are wounded with substances that I'm pretty sure she probably doesn't know what she's stuck into herself, and is very upset and aggressive to the point there is beyond hate being spewed out of her being towards people that don't eat apples like she does. And to the point where and she smiles at the baby on her lap, this is who we have to protect. And as soon as they're able to, stab, wound these 2-year-olds, all bets are off. I hope I can I hope I can pass on a disease to these people so they suffer. And there's a lot of those type of people. A lot. I would say maybe a fuck ton or a shit ton. Is a shit ton an actual word? Is a fuck ton a word? Either one. It's a grand amount of these types of people that have this, whether they're thinking it or whether it's been downloaded into their numb skulls, into their brain that probably doesn't exist, where the empty space is. I don't know. Whatever it might be, these people are trained monkeys and they're zombies. So I also have to put into this mix, so as a prerequisite for you to consider, or a precursor for this, I believe in life everlasting, in the sense that even when people are released, their spirit is released from this body, they go somewhere else. They become something else. Whether a fish, a donkey, a cow, or whatever, a human. They'll find their way to another portal, to enter a body, or to be in what they believe to be heaven or some other realm. I don't know, but I believe in that very much so. Enough where I don't just believe in it, I'm pretty well certain of it. So I don't really factor too much into this. As what I'm going to say is that people will end up, and this is 100% fact for, I would say, the entire world, so it goes without saying, people will end up ceasing to exist on this realm. They will die. They will perish. They will move on. Whatever that means, it happens usually somewhere inside of 72 years for most people, right? Some earlier, some later. So who knows? But when you put that number up against everything, when you put the number on the Georgia GuideStones up against everything that the PTBs, the powers that be, the larger Magi, the magicians, you can call them whatever you want, and what they've told and explained through many media sources, and what the goals are of depopulation and whatever they use as reasons for it, even though the reasons are faulty, like overpopulation ain't a thing. Let's just get that out the way. If you think so, you're very highly mistaken. If you think that the carbon thing is a problem, you don't know what you're talking about. You've done zero research. So we'll just leave that at that. But I will say I happen to agree with it. I agree with some aspects of a one world government. I agree with some aspects of less people here. Why? I mean, it would be nice to have more people, but most people really do suck. They're succubuses. They're clowns. They're trained monkeys. They're zombies. And I think as far as we know, I think we could probably say universally nobody likes clowns. I mean, there's a larger reason for that. If you ever check out, there's a couple great videos on it on the beings that came with the red hair, and tall, white skin, and they're a different being, and they look like clowns. And this is a kind of why there's cultures all across the world. I don't go too far in that, but let's say we can universally say clowns kind of suck. I mean, look at Ronald McDonald. What has he done? He's killed more people than... Being honest with yourself, Ronald McDonald killed more people than who knows, and all the wars combined, huh? More heart disease, more heart attacks, more people in hospitals. So we could get rid of the clowns. We could get rid of the trolls. We could get rid of the zombies, and I think we'd be okay. I don't think we need to really even get rid of the vampires. I think the vampires are fine. That's a longer one because I don't think vampires are doing what most people think. Just like most magicians aren't. Pagans and magicians aren't doing what you think. You know, especially when it comes to fake ass Christians, which are probably about 99% of them. What do I mean by fake Christians? You don't even know what Christianity means. You don't even know what Christ means. Is a crossing or it's a christened oil. It's a christened oil or a crossing of oil from one part of your body to your skull, where Golgotha is, where Mount Pineal is. Yeah. And they're always the most self-righteous, right? So whatever. I think that obviously the planet is being, however you want to look at it, harvested, burnt down, divided, but divided in the sense of wheat from chaff or whatever they say. Is that the one? Yeah. So there's some that is just not needed and some is. So this is happening at an expedient. It's happening very expediently at a very quick rate. So I don't disagree with getting rid of borders. Borders are stupid. Why? So I can go from here to there, but not there? You're telling me there's a hard line from here to what I'd call Mexico or Canada, or a hard border from this place? Makes not a lot of sense now. I mean, if you're a global or realm or flat earth or whatever you want to call it, if you're a citizen of the entire place, the whole realm, what land is yours? All of it or none of it, you have dominion over it. Take care of it. So I'm yay. It's gonna, people are gonna come and go, and getting rid of the things that shouldn't be. You want to call me names for it? Go for it. No matter to me. Because there's just too many people. You get those people that are really not intelligent, that think they are. Dorks is what you'd call them. People that are socially inept, that think they know something, that spout it out like they do, but they're absolutely socially inept, and they don't know what they're talking about, but they bring it forward like they know something's good, and they don't. Not too many of those people, and I wouldn't mind that not existing. I didn't do anything about it. I didn't call for it. I didn't make these. I didn't come with the knife. I didn't come with the sword. Maybe some words. Not the sword. Somebody else got those things. Somebody else puts I didn't come with anything toxic. Maybe some other places did. And if they consume the toxicity, they consume the poisons, what the hell do I have to do with it? Nothing. I told them otherwise. I've told everybody for the longest time the things that would be best to consume for self. And because we're past the point of even assisting and helping to teach these people, and that's anybody that, for years, you all know, when you tried it, they don't want to hear it. You could present them with the healthiest peach right in front of them, but if they love their pork rinds, they don't want that peach. What you gonna do about it? You can't force feed them it, and that's where we are. People are in love with their disease. They identify with it so much. The disease of information that they get, the disease that they live with, whatever it might be. No helping these people. So what? So get the fuck out of our way? we're trying to, I don't know, clean up the fucking world, make it a better place. I don't know, get rid of some of this weird shit that's going on here, the things that aren't really suitable for, Hey, I don't even want kids. I don't want children. But I have a mind enough about me that I do see ethically, morally, and for the species, the next generation. You should be thinking about what are you leaving to the next generation. You don't leave the next generation to clean the shit up that you've made. And so, I mean, but that's what we're doing. We're like the fucking cleanup crew for the last generations. And so these people can get the fuck out the way. Mm-hmm. What you expect me to say? What you want me to say? He says anybody, they're like, oh, I can't believe it. Oh. I didn't, I didn't feed you that poison. I didn't tell you to take that poison. I told you not to. And then you want to argue with me about why you sick. And then I'm gonna tell you how to fix yourself, and you don't want to listen. You ain't gonna pay attention. I'm gonna tell you how to fix yourself. Nope, ain't gonna do it, are you? So what do? We're left with some chiseled up stones of guides, right? The other name of the show, I was going to do 3 shows today. The other one was going to be the cunty Karens that cause cancerous cancel culture. You like that alliteration? The cunty Karens that cause cancerous cancel culture? That's hard to say. Cunty Karens that cause cancerous cancel culture. And that's kind of what I'm alluding to in a lot of ways, really. Because it usually tends to be those types. Hmm. I mean, and the thing is, when those people that are what are they? I mean, what do you call the guys? I mean, these are the Karen and the whatever the guy version is, the Steves or whatever the fuck. They don't know. They don't know they're being that way. They really, really are so self-righteous and believe they're right. Well, they're 1,000. I don't even know this. They're not even headed in the wrong direction. They're not even wrong. They're absolutely completely wrong. But they really, truly believe they're right, and they're they're in the right position. They're saying the right thing. They're taking a stand. They're gonna let you know. They're gonna tell you. And why is it without foul? It's what the thing that's sucky about it. I'll tell you, the one thing that's really sucky about it is sometimes when somebody is in the right and doing it, they appear as they're being Karen-esque, and in fact they're not at all. But that is stuck into people's psyche so much that anybody that goes, nah, fuck that bullshit, they just go, uh-oh, here we go, this is going to be a Karen moment. Well, no, not all the time. Not all the time when somebody says fuck that bullshit are they absolutely, sometimes they are standing up for themselves, and it's righteous, and it's good, and it's healthy. So what's up, everybody? How you doing? Let's see who's here. Zim Zam. Let's see. Where are we at? Peace, love. You have to come here just to confirm there's a few living souls. Do you remember that Gorillaz tune? Last Living Souls? So, who's up here? Arid, Rape, Skull. What's up, Parsifal? You had some monkey meat for lunch at Wendy's? And Skull, the GuideStones are awesome. Yeah, there's some of it that I don't like. There's some of it that I don't agree with. I mean, I don't agree that 500 million is the correct answer by any means. I think that's far below what is reasonable. It's just the way the population's spread out that's kind of fucking nutso. But I mean, if that's where we got to get it to, and I don't think there should be any reason not to expand a little further. I mean, there's plenty enough for everybody. Yeah, we got yes. I had to do a little repair on it the other day because it got broke. It got cracked. It got broke. But yeah, most of the, you said there could be about 1.5 billion left. Well, my assumption is there's not 7 billion to begin with. I think it's probably well underneath that number. and I've explained why many a times. And I think it has to do with the same thing that is going on with businesses, right? You can have shell corporations. I think there's a lot of shell humans that don't really exist. That it goes into the data set, but it's not actually people, right? So and 1.5, most of the stuff that I've looked at about like really popular, the companies that are in the business of doing predictions for Wall Street, for companies, for the world, they're all like the ones I've seen, they're predicting most countries to be down in population by well over 30% within the next 2 years. I mean, y'all can decipher that any way you want and think it's because of, you can decipher that any way you want and think that it's because of some thing that it's not, or have a reality check and know why that's happening, what the cause of that is very plain and obvious to the most of us. Rampe, is all the land of mine? It does seem like this whole land was mined, yes. But there's many ways to look at it. Because if we start with it was a motherboard of a computer chip, right? A large motherboard. And then things happened where there was stuff built on top of it, and mud and different things, waters and and things happened. And then people started to dig it out. Then it became mines. I don't know how many generations we could look at, like how many go-throughs, like how much of that was mined by larger things. And I mean, it's pretty obvious when you start looking at the way some mountains look, some of the valleys, some of the what it clearly looks like large tool marks from using tools. So it looks like that to me. You could take the chip after the show is over. Well, Aaron, yeah, the family members are certainly the closer the friend, the closer the family. It's the closer the family member because they know you. You know what I mean? So they trust you to be the dipshit you were your entire life. However they view you. Like maybe, if you were a doctor and you said something and you knew something, they would listen. But if you're just the fucking goofy family member, they're not gonna listen to you. What the fuck do you know? It's not going to separate. Even if you could provide them information and be completely forthright, they're not going to buy it from you. It would have to come from a different source. I don't know how many times I've said things to people, and they just because they know me too well, they don't accept it, and then they'll hear it from someone else, the same exact thing, and then they'll implement it in their life. And I was like, you remember how many times I told you that, right? And they go, yeah. And then I'm like, you understand why, you understand why you finally did it, right? They couldn't see it at first. But yeah, sometimes it takes somebody else to say it. But we're at a position now. The only way these people that are lost in the sauce, the only way they're going to see it is if the people they've been listening to just come right out and be like, oh yeah, we've been bullshitting here. Like if the media just came out and then they might accept it. But it's not like they're going to start. Even though one side is kind of telling you a little bit of the truth, like the Fox, right? And then the CNN's out here telling you the completely, dumb shit. What are they going to do? They've been watching CNN their whole life. They're going to start watching Fox. And even if they did, they're still controlling both sides of a narrative. And it's not even, either side is the whole truth, right? What's up, Robert Hammock? What's up, Stan? Yeah, there you go, Stan. Never say I'm sick. Either say I am healing or I am healthy. If you can say I am healthy, you get there quicker. But you got to really commit to saying that. It's tough too. Like I fucked my knee up the other day, and so I would be in the mode of, ouch, this fucking hurts, but I'm healing. I can't. It's hard to say. Oh, because as soon as I do, I'm like, I really know it's going to take a couple days to get back in a dancing order. Rip God. What is a Karen character analysis? Hey, you just look it up online. You'll see. You know the type. A little overweight, short haircut, hates their life, has pretty much nothing to do, has an okay life in the sense of they're probably middle class. Most of them would be middle class, just a standard middle class. Some are upper, some are lower. Those are a little different type. They got nothing really to do. They don't really like their kids because they didn't turn out right, and they hate their husband, and they don't get along. Definitely no sex in their life. So they just find little ways here and there to fuck up someone's day, thinking they're being nice, thinking they're helping out the community by telling somebody to get the fuck off the skateboard, get off the sidewalk with their skateboard, or get in front of, and just getting somebody. They get in the way of anybody's happiness, basically, because they're not happy. They exude their unhappiness and get in the way of anybody else's joy or fun. It's about the size of it. They're buzz killers. They're happiness killers. What's up, Andy Z? See, there you go, Aaron Colburn. Somebody called a woman a Karen for not wearing a mask, when in fact she was probably the opposite. Because the person that called the person a Karen, I guarantee, was the Karen. You see how they flipped it? This is what they do. They flip everything the fuck around. I guarantee the person that called her a Karen was the Karen themselves. I bet you they probably removed their mask to tell them they're Karen, and then got up within 6 feet and destroyed their own rules to implement something. Think they were the king top shit, the king queef, the queen queef of all realms. Oh, hey, what's up, Will Brooks? It's a new moon today? Nice. Well, as everybody here knows, I don't necessarily follow the moons new or full. We're energetically. I think probably because of my Geministic nature, that sometimes the new moon I have a lot of energy, and sometimes the full moon I do, and sometimes it's the opposite. Like financially right now, I'm pretty fucking empty. So new moon is empty moon, there's nothing there. So in that sense, on currency wise, I'm broke as shit. But I'm getting richer. I'm rich, you know what I mean? And with your assistance, anybody here, there's a few people here. There's enough there's 19 people here. If you guys wanted to just chip in a couple bucks to, help me make sure I can pay rent this month and get some beers, I would appreciate it. So here's my donation bucket I'm shaking. CashApp, PayPal, and Venmo. Capital TSAR, capital XEN. It's in the description box. PayPal.me / capital TSAR, capital XEN. And that's appreciated. Oh, and if anybody needs me for a one-on-one for something, it's Theo Luminous, TheoLuminous. And if you can't hear that, just rewind it and slow it down. Theo Luminous means Godlight. At Gmail. There you go. Oh yeah, the Aaron, the clock thing, that's going to be happening. That's going to be happening to a lot of people. It already is. It's happening like quite a bit. And I will discuss that in another channel, another show. Maybe I'll go back over to do Zooms again with you guys. That way I can open up the forum to speak a little more forthright about some things. But I kind of got to censor myself here a little bit. Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Two spare beers?
Yes, of course I can.
Oh, God bless you.
Of course, dude.
Thank you.
Not a problem, man. I got a beer, you got a beer. Yeah.
How long did it take you to grow your beard?
Oh, dude, I don't even know the last time I trimmed it,
I started this in June. And that's all I got.
Okay, well, that's not bad.
That's
not bad. This is years and years and years.
I know.
I've trimmed it in there.
You think 5 years?
Well, yeah, I mean, in there I've trimmed it a couple times just to keep it from being too
Crazy.
wizard
Okay.
straggly.
All
So
right. All
I
right.
take off a couple inches here and there. But
Ha!
yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say this is probably 5.
5.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's
Cheers,
your name, brother?
Zen.
I'm Jerry. Nice
Jerry.
to meet
Yeah,
you, man.
yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. Have a beautiful day, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care, man. Let's see. There's a bunch of other things that are luciferase, and there's a couple other things that are connected to the word Lucifer that I wouldn't consider evil, negative, or demonic in any way. It just has to do with um, a way that well, there's a lot of things that there's a light inside of a plant. There's a light coating within certain things that destroys bacteria, and it's connected very much to, Lucifer name. So I would throw it all under the bus because there is some there. I did there's a everybody knows there's a wild difference between the devil, Satan, and Lucifer, not only in spelling but in function and in meaning. So. Dude, no gym, no cinema. Ugh. Yeah, I hear you about that, and I'll talk about that. Like I said, that's something I don't want to talk about too much on here. Andy Z. Yeah, terraformed. Exactly, formed terrain. Health and wealth. Yeah, that's what I used to say to people. The path to health is hellish. It's like, I mean, it can be. You're burning things off your body. It's very hot. When you have something bad and it should be in your body tends to heat up, burn off, and it becomes hellish, hot. That's why you get your body temperature goes up. You're burning something off. Then you become well, and it's like well water, and it's comfortable. It's like, there it is, still and well. Chief Queef. Well, thank you, Stan, for putting that there. Stan as always comes through with the donate to yes that very low on funds. This is correct. This is I think the last fucking. Well, I do have some money, but I can't access it right now because YouTube is effing with me. So I wouldn't be so needy and beggy at you people. But yeah. Yeah, I think I spent my last $9.50 on some beers. It's what it is. It's what it is. Me worried? Never. Worrying is just a prayer to unease. Worrying is a prayer to what do you call it? Wickedness, I suppose. Don't spend the time even thinking about it. Don't put your. It's like, fuck it, whatever. Why am I gonna focus and meditate on something that almost certainly won't happen? And the less I meditate and focus on that, and I focus on something else, those things tend to happen. So what? Why worry? For what? The most perfect way I heard it was, I don't remember who said it exactly, but he said, you don't know enough to be worried. You don't have enough information about anything to be worried about anything. You can't possibly know. Like, even everything that's going on, as much as things seem one way, think about your entire life. Of every time you thought something might go bad, it usually doesn't. 99% of the time, you pretty much, yeah, there you go. You're still right side up. You're still your feet working. Everything's still works out. Imagine if you just got rid of the worrying about it. You just don't have enough information. You never will have enough information to really worry. So don't get into the paralysis by analysis, the overthinking, the just know shit. Anytime you got a piece of information, you're gonna be missing some. There's always the what you don't know, the what you don't know that you don't know. Skull, thank you, bro. You as a genius, man. Thank you. Fucking A. Bong bong. I do appreciate it, man. Yeah. That's my you got my dude a beer right there that just came through. I don't know who he was, I forget his name. You'd have probably dug him. He had I should have showed you him. He had skull and bones inks all over him. Like he was all tatted, whole system tatted. All his knuckles were done with bones. And he was all skulled out, man. It was very skull and bones. It might have been you, man. Yeah, and for the rest of y'all, if Skull's scraping through his cushions for $1.95, I think y'all can do that. I'm pretty sure you can. What do you say? What do you say? Yeah. Oh, Andy Z, that's right. Jerry was right. Thank you, Scott. Hey, Super Champion, it was Jerry. It was Jerry. Yeah, like Sal or Jerry. There we go. Yeah, Andy Z. The demons, came from the word daemons, right? And daemons were your protector. It was your being that was your protector being. To other people, it'd be demonic, right? It'd be demonic, and they might have something to fear. They should fear your demon, right? Remember the movie Golden Compass? It shows you perfectly what it is. But you got spirit animals, which kind of link up to maybe for some people what your demon might be. I think they might be something a little different, but nonetheless, you do have that. Like, it's like when you see nice people, you're like, I don't know if I want to fuck with their demons, because a lot of people, the nicer they are, the more fucked up their demons are. I don't know if you want to fuck with my demons. Give it a shot. I don't think you'll fare well. And I would assume I have more than one. Due to birthday and shit, born day, Geministic, all that. And I'm tripolar, man. I'm well beyond bipolar. I'm quadpolar, dude. Quadpolar bear. Oh, no shit. Yeah, not yeah. Okay, Amon Ra. Yeah. Amon Ra, yeah. Interesting. I didn't know that. So angel, well, I mean, as far as I know, an angel and a demon to me you can trade. I think they're trading. They trade places. Some demons are on the way up, some angels are on the way down. That's usually the picture you get. Angels, fallen angels, demons on the way up. That's usually how it works. But angels just kind of come from. I mean, the original angels are from the God, and the God is the alphabet. The alphabet is the God. And then the demigods, or the angels, or the angles, are the fractionated version of light, or the fractionated version of sound, which are the letters. So if you look at a letter, like the letter L, there's your original angel. Your original angle is 90 degrees. Here's your 10 digits and your 26 letters. There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. And 13, there's your 26 letters and 10 numbers. So this is how you'd spell something. Here it even shows you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. There's your L right there. So even in here, so you have your 26 letters, which are your angels or angles, which are divided sounds or divided light from God, which is all of the sounds God can make. In the beginning there was the Word, and then we see all the colors, and then we divide it up into angelic things. Daemons might be more of a conglomeration of a set of letters, which would be a set of angels, perhaps. It could be multi-dimensional angel. I never really thought about it that deep, but that's how I've seen angels be. Well, you got the 777. Well, I mean, that's funny. I will boastfully say I'm not a doctor. I don't doctor things. A healer, sure, I'll say that. A conduit of things, yeah, without question. I don't doctor shit. Stan, yeah. Largest binoculars. Yeah, and the interesting thing about when you talk about all the telescopes and things, where are the other big ones? They're at all of the schools with names like St. John, St. Joe's, shit like that, and they're all owned by the Vatican. So the Vatican owns all of the higher education centers, which own the largest telescopes. Which, funny enough, then you go, all this higher knowledge, and it's connected to this thing, and then realize, no, it's actually connected to, well, is it angelic, is it demonic, what do we think of really what's going on at the Vatican, and why do they need those telescopes? Why don't they let us see them? Why you got to go to these saints to go see what's going on out there? Yeah, Rampe. So yeah, it's getting chilly out here, y'all. So I'm gonna do a special show very soon. So maybe I'll actually write shit down for once in my life. Whoa, that'd be crazy. And it'll be like kind of a list of things that if y'all haven't considered, getting shit for what will be somewhat a people say apocalypse, changing of the seasons, changing of the times of the world, end times, whatever the hell you want to call it. But there will be transition of things, and there'll be things that would be smart to have prior to, especially considering what their plans are, and that they're going to knock out some power grids, and your internet won't work for a while. There'll be a lot of shit that will go on, and that would probably happen. It's coming very soon. So if you all look at the supply chain and trying to get everything going digital, plus a bunch of other shit going on, there's a bunch of things that you should have prior to. The supply chain's already, on purpose fucked up, and then once everybody, it's going to be double compounded fucked up because supply chain's already backed up. On top of that, you're going to have people stocking up and bulk buying, so that's double compounding something. And then if they shut the computer systems and everything else down, I mean, that's chaos right there. Plus, it's going to be cold. So you're going to watch a lot of people that were in the north. And I was talking to somebody the other day about this. And I think most of the north will have major problems because they're not going to be prepped. Especially the people that are now getting the flu, that are getting different types of sickness, especially older people. They got no electricity. They got no warmth. They will be falling like flies. And you know what they'll blame it on. Even though it won't be that. It'll be a bunch of other things that are going on there. But nonetheless, you'll be seeing that happen. 3 days of very cold weather and no way to turn heat on. That ain't looking good for quite a few people. And I'm sitting here all it's like 70 degrees and I got a hoodie and a hat on. But In the north? Oh no, that's gonna be no bueno. So, and there's other people, stocked up on, and here's other things that happen. People are not going to be stocked up on as much as, people could get off of medications and do other things. In the short run, they're not going to be able to transition that quickly. So you better be stocked up on medications, little things that you might need. How people seem or feel like they need to eat. You better have that going for you. Better have the little, extra blankies, books. You better get comfortable meditating. I don't know. Coffee? What is it? Coffee, chocolate, beer, liquor, whatever. Oddly enough, end of the world shit or transition shit, it's comfort things. It's not what you think, because you pretty much already have what you need. If you live in a house, you're gonna be okay. But mentally people won't be okay. But you're gonna just need the things of comfort. What would keep you comfortable? Oddly enough, people go for the what do I need to survive? I need this to survive. And I don't think they're right about everything. Yeah, if it's a full-on apocalyptic scenario, well, I don't think anybody here has, an underground bunker or time or money or space to build it, and all of the things you need to stock up for are with. So I'll tell everybody, for the end of the world, get candy and alcohol. Oh, and a lot of people like smokes, tobacco. End of the world, really? You're gonna get candy, alcohol, and tobacco. Yeah. In fact, I'd probably get what I would get any other day. What the fuck would change? I don't know. What's up, Denise? You're typing L. Oh, Stan, the La Palma just slid age. Okay. Let's get into that, because I said when I was ending the show yesterday, Stan, we would get into that. I had done a show a couple days ago, a little bit on it. But if you're really on the East Coast, you better be prepped to go inland. It does, as far as I've seen, the old cartoons and movies that were kind of, look at any movie. You always see these big tidal waves coming in as tsunamis. Now, I was thinking all of the coding was for the West Coast and the Golden Gate Bridge and all that, but I don't know if the tsunami. I don't see now. The coding is looking like the tsunami comes in through the Atlantic, and the Pacific won't be so much affected through a tsunami, but something else, like I think that if a tsunami happens, we'll be going the other direction, and it'll be because of the San Andreas fault. And there's one other fault right there in Cali that I think will adjust something, that the tsunamis will be coming from La Palma to east coast of this country, New York, North Carolina, Virginia, etc., all the way down to Florida. And then whatever happens on the West Coast, because there's supposed to be some shit in Seattle and San Francisco, that causes the tsunami to go towards the east coast of what would be over there, I guess. I don't know if it'd make it down far enough to Australia, but definitely China, Japan would be there. You know what I'm talking about, that part. Not very good at geography, but when do I think? Well, we're into November, and they always talk about so the fall. We're in the fall and going into Christmas, and with everything that's linked up, when would be the best time if you were trying to go full on Thanos, right? If you want to go full Thanos, what would you do? When would be the easiest time to rid things? winter when everything's super cold in the north. Like, it's not going to make a lot of sense to do that in the summertime. People are more active, able to move. You know what I mean? And all of the programming is kind of pointed towards November, December. So, and if you push back the other possibility being the full-on plasma, the plasma flip, meaning like a plasma apocalypse where the energetics, the electromagnetics in this realm change, then it would seem that maybe we're off by a year for the people who are planning on 2020 as 2021. So that December, the equinox, what, 21st to 25th, that one, that would be a prime spot. There's a Christmas present for everybody, huh? There's a crossing. There's a christening of the planet. It would only make sense with things. Yeah, DWs, that's another thing. I mean, they've already been, doing something with it. And they've already talked about, throwing some nukes. Well, I don't know if nukes don't really exist, I don't believe. At least not in that sense. But, like, throwing some grenades or whatever in there. I don't know. They've already talked about it. The president was talking about it, like, last week, so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, peace, love. I hear you about getting getting all the boosties, the boostiers. If everybody doesn't understand what I'm saying, the boosters, it makes sense to get that out to as many as possible. But at the same time, if enough people have had it, and if they already had a plan in order for this fall, they're not going to push it off. That's not how they work. There's not room for readjusting their coding. Their coding is already in place. We just don't know. As far as I know, not too many people have figured out actual dates. I mean, once in a while they'll figure a date out, and they've been right on. But usually the dates are pretty hard to come by. But certainly they seem to be going on their time, their calendar, their schedule. So while maybe they were expecting 70% of the population to be all wounded, to have eaten the apple, and only 50% did, I think they probably have like a target area, and if they're somewhere in there, they just go ahead with what they're gonna do. I couldn't imagine them changing the coding for that, because the tsunami will still do most of the work. Then it doesn't matter whether you got that or not. And on top of it, it's not like afterwards they wouldn't still push it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't just delete the possibility of them saying, hey, you still need to get the Stabberwocky. Well, Denise, you should definitely make sure you're stocked up for a few months for whatever. If it's very important medication, you should try to get ahead of the game and get stocked up ASAP. And whilst going into it, like, see what you can do to, what can you trade in? Like, if it's maybe somebody needs blood thinner, we'll trade in their medication for foods that are, or there's all sorts of things. Negatively ionized hydrogen, or obviously most people ain't going to be down with the piss, but there's all sorts of things that are blood thinners. There's all sorts of plant lives that will take the place of that. If you see that, like, a contradiction, it says don't eat this plant if you're on this type of drug, or whatever, it says the opposite, then that's when you should look into it a little more, because that's also a blood thinning agent. So it would be meaning take less of the drug while you're doing this, and then they can get off of that and use whatever plant life. And that for most anything, that's going to be that you can do that. But again, I'm a doctor. I'm not giving any advice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Pacific. Well, I mean, wasn't that movie called, what is it, Pacific Rim? Isn't that something? Because that was some of the major coding, the Pacific Rim coding, and what was going to happen over there. So that's why I'm saying the eruptions might be occurring in the other direction, or the tsunami in the other direction over there. Yeah, the fats too. All sorts of different kind of fats that are going to be needed. Yeah, you don't really want to be fasting in the winter. Take it from me, the first long fast I did was in the winter. I mean, always a fast is a good time, but if for anyone's first long fast, you're not going to like it. Because your body's already been going through so many temperature variations that if it's cold, your body's already going to be on days super cold, so you're not going to like it. Yeah, you got some dates. I ain't a date since I lived in Ohio. A date in Ohio. Well, hey Denise, hit me up on. Listen, I don't want to answer any of those on here because I don't want my channel to be for some sort of misses informations. You know what I mean? Hit me up on my email, TheoLuminous, and ask me there, and I'll get to you. Or I'll do a specific, or I'll go to my other channel and just do a specific show on my other channel, Zen Alchemist. Anybody doesn't know that, it's my backup, Zen Alchemist. Go over there. And that way I can make a show on there and you can say you watched it. I can make it private and then just delete it so it doesn't fuck my channel up. Rampe, my longest? 43. 43 days. Yeah, boy. Crazy Drazy. And that was my first one. Crazy enough, right? I mean, not my first fast. My first fast on water. The other ones I'd done some juice fasts and things prior, but not on water. Funny enough, the long. I mean, I never even done a juice fast that long. Yeah. Well, Andy. Yeah, it's silly, but they're trying to rebrand themselves, and there's a lot of people saying, excuse me, a lot of people saying that meta means death, the death verse. Meta doesn't. It means ending, but it also means mind, and it depends on where you source it back to. So I don't know. Again, it's kind of like whenever people use gematria, and then they always steer you towards the number and what it means if the number means something bad. And quite clearly, you can take any gematria code and turn it into saying something good. It's always a possibility. Just know everybody that's really into gematria shows you the demonic, or, well, the inverted version, which is usually what they're going for, and I understand, right? It happens, but most of it, I don't care what whatever you want to get a kill code and 93 and this and I mean I get it, but and that's usually what they're pointing to. But if you look at what else that number means, the same way as like using the word meta. Like the word meta just means mind. Say metaphysician, you mean a physician of the mind, using the mind to do something. Metadata, mind data. Or like a material, it means mother, material, meta. It doesn't necessarily, it means can mean earth, and it could mean death. But again, it's just how you want to decode it. Yeah. Yeah, actually, it was, I probably could, let me see if I can find the date. 2010, maybe? It was January 1st I started it, 2010. I'm 90% sure of that. Somewhere around there, maybe 2009. 2009 would make sense. Well, actually, 2010 would make sense because this would make 11 years. And it was before the Mayan calendar, I believe. Before the was 2001, and then 2011 was another key date for something. Yeah. So, and I lived in Baltimore, and so it's snowing, freezing, blah blah blah. So it's strange to go outside in the freezing ass cold. Yeah. Fasting is, that's when you don't eat breakfast. You're doing a really good. I think that's the most important thing not to do is don't eat breakfast until the end of the day. You're breaking your fast at the end of the day. You should already have your energy from your meal the night before. Every day should be Ramadan. You're cleaning your body throughout the day. You have the energy stored up from eating the meal, the night prior. You've stored everything up. Whatever I eat breakfast, but my day goes to shit. I'm lazy. I'm tired. I want to take a nap. I don't want to do anything. I'm busy digesting. It doesn't help my day. And so that would be like intermittent fasting, and that's very good, very healthy. Kind of have a silly argument with somebody that's a nurse that thinks they know better, that said that's unhealthy to eat once a day. Like, why do I look better than you and I'm 12 years older than you? Why am I, like, why you eat garbage and push, I'm not gonna have that argument. Like, it wasn't a very long argument. Like, well, how are you telling me that? Like, why don't you don't, how do you think you know this? You don't know anything about nutrition. This is what I do. That's what I fucking do for it. Do you know who I am? Pretty funny. But yeah, once you can fast for the day, sometimes that day turns to the next day. Sometimes I'm on day 3 of fasting on liquids, and it's kind of like, should I just continue this on and be on a hardcore? Let me just get into doing a week, because I really don't. I'm just fine. Comes and goes. Have a good time. I'm tired. I've been out. Go to bed. Wake up. Start the day. I always feel better the less I eat. But I do like the feasting and fasting. That is a major idea in my early videos. Is feasting and fasting, following kind of the code of the Mayans. And they did it seasonally, but there was also like a daily thing in different cultures where they would say, you should get up and earn your meal. Basically in the sense of, you have energy, go out and work, do the things that you want to do. Like, go play, go plant some seeds, go garden, go till or toil in the fields if that's what you must, or go do whatever it is. And then when you're tired and the sun's going down and you can start the fire and then cook your meal, that's your your reward for the day. You don't go out hunting after you're fed. You go hunting because you're hungry. Yes. Oh, and I will remind everybody here, anybody new that's here now, if you do find that inside of your pockets or in one of your Cash App or PayPal or whatever, I am hunting for some currency or some dollars. If you find, or maybe you just find some coins in the cushions of your couch or your car, and you wanted to drop a few into my bucket, feel free. That would be really, really great and delightful of you, and I do appreciate it, because I'm running on fumes these days. Cash App, PayPal, you'll see it in the description box beneath. My name is TsarXen, like Tarzan, TSAR capital XEN, PayPal and Cash App. I appreciate it. Yeah, don't eat breakfast though. That's a very thing. It's you look at this. Look at the simple training we get. Why do they tell us to eat 3 squares a day? They literally tell us to eat 3 squares. Why would you eat a square of anything, for one? And why 3? What's that for? Is anybody really hungry 3 times a day? If it wasn't for you believing and continually being fed breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you wouldn't eat that way. And you can prove this yourself a lot of different ways. But after even a short fast, you'll find out what hunger is and what... Hi, Kitty. Hi, Kitty Kit. Hi, Kitty. Are you coming over here? Let's see, Kitty Kit. There's Kit. Hi, Kit. Come here, baby. No, you're going to hunt? She's going hunting. She's hunting, too. Is you're thirsty. You're not hungry. Thirst and hunger are 2 wildly different things, and a lot of people mistake their thirst for hunger. They're just thirsty, and then they eat something, and then they wonder why they're still hungry afterwards. They're hungry afterwards because they've put so much gross material into their body that they want to get rid of it, and they're thirsty. They want liquid, any type of liquid. They want water. They want beer. They want hydration of some sort, but they just keep eating, and they're not hungry. And it gets clogged up in them, and they're hungry more. But they're not hungry. They're just thirsty. You could, especially if you go watch any of these shows like, documentaries about like fat people that like go on long fasts. Look up those documentaries, and while they have their bad days, a lot of times they'll start to notice that they're just wanting to drink something, and they're not. You'll lose your hunger after the 3rd day. After about 72 hours, you understand the difference. I mean, there will be slight moments of mental. You deal with some mental things on different days where you're like, why am I fasting? I should just eat. I want to eat. But in reality, when you drink something, you're like, oh, that was satisfying. That's what I wanted. I just needed liquid. Hey, Rampa, a message. Is it 3:30? Oh, here it was. I missed 2:22, but it is 3. Yes. What's up? I am healed. Who? Who? I don't believe that was a who. As far as I understand it, A, because when it was written, there was no J, and the word Christ is a title. It's either a title, much like Tsar or King or Mrs. or Doctor or whatever. Christ is a title. Or it means crossing, or it means, or it could be representative of a fluidium in the body. But Jesus is a metaphor. It is a metaphor, and even he, interestingly enough, in Hebrew, I'm pretty sure that he means woman. So he is the she. Just as like how everything is always in and out and backwards and upside down. The IESUS would be the original spelling, I think. Some people say with the Yahweh and whatever. It means, as far as I've heard through the Christian mystics, they say it just means imagination. So your imagination is the Iwasa or Jesus or Jesus or Yahweh. It's an imagination. And the Christ would be the crossing of the imagination into the physical realm. Or in another form, would be the crossing of a sacred sacrum. Your sacrum is producing a liquid, which is then crossing into Golgotha, into your skull, which then again lights up through Jacob's ladder, and it lights up your skull, comes the pineal gland, and you can see with your 3rd eye, and it lights up your cranium. So in that way, it's a crossing to see things. And another is a physical manifestation from an imaginal realm into a physical realm. So Jesus Christ would be crossing of realms. It'd be imagination crossing into a physical realm. That's how I see it. I don't think it was I mean, everybody has the capacity to be their own Jesus Christ, right? Their own crossing into another realm. Everybody that really goes, oh no, it was first. Like, you don't know that. You weren't there. I can't. I literally can't hear those people. Like, it's as much of any other story that I've heard. You know, it's here. I'll tell you another story that I'll just go, I can't really tell. I don't know. Your boy Tesla. Where the hell did he come from? We sure? Are we sure he existed? Are we sure he invented any of that? I mean, even existed. Nobody heard about him until when? It's a recent thing, right? And all of a sudden, he became the big pop thing going on. Are we sure he wasn't? You know, that story wasn't put into the timeline a long time ago, or even if you want to play like it was just inserted in recently, but it just became popularized recently. It was always in the timeline, but it was just somebody that maybe didn't exist. I never met him. I don't fucking know. There's plenty of people you don't know. Even people you don't know. How do you? And you knew this dude from 2,000 years ago? Give me a break. But here it is. It says it in the books. Yeah. Do you know how many books are altered and changed? And there's so many allegories and so many. You can't. Can you trust American history? You can't trust American history. You can't trust world history. And everybody knows this. It's all make believe. It's fallacy. Or at least written by the winners. And in that case, it might be opposite or completely fabricated for that matter. So if we can't even trust history from the last 100 years, how the hell are we going to trust history of the thing that made everything from 2,000 years ago that has been written and rewritten and changed and altered so many times? For what purpose? What are they serving? So while I think that book may have some integrity, certainly as an esoteric understanding, reading it from an occult perspective, a hidden or esoteric perspective, as astrotheological understanding, as well as how the human body functions, as well as states of consciousness or being, that certainly does. I think it might have some history in it, but all in all, it's not a real verbatim, word for word, that's historically accurate to something. I think there's some clues to things that occurred. I think the framework is still there. Hold on, I'm sticking it out. There we go. Yeah, there you go. Hey, you know, turn a 6 and a 9. You know, it's kind of like turning like a P into a B. Like if you look at the word poop and you put that next to a lake, it really says boob. You know what I mean? 6 is a 9, is a P is a B. And in fact, there is some larger funny things about taking and literally flipping words upside down, like W's and M's, or mirroring them. Or letters and words, mirroring or flipping them upside down. There is some legitimacy to coding that way. It's being funny about the boob and the poop and the boob, but hmm. It's like, look, Tesla being fake. Whenever I say fake or mythology, like maybe he was a person, maybe he did exist. Like this dude, Lone Scum, Elon Musk, or this dude Jobs, or this dude Microsoft guy. You know, whatever. I mean, their names have meaning. Like, is that really? I mean, that's a person. Sure, we could probably accept that that's a person, that they're living, but to use them as an icon for something, I think it's more that. You ain't out here really thinking that Tesla, or like did a lone scum. I mean, Elon Musk was throwing a car into outer space. I mean, that's moronic to believe that. You have failed the test and you have to go back to grade school. But even to believe that he's some sort of futurist that thought of all these things and these ideas that's going on in that car, no, he didn't. He's just the figurehead for what that company is and stands for. Okay, and then he becomes that, and reads a couple books, and he's given some information, and he can spout off some interesting scientism facts and this and that, but that doesn't, he's not the originator. No way. Oh yeah, that old one I'm getting, yeah, that was great. Oh yeah, Gates. There we go. I broke that one down. Walmart, Wally World, like wall, and then Gates and Walls, and I did a whole one on all their names a while ago. I have to find that. Huh. Anyways, that was funny. Yeah. Yeah, that is the actual interconnectedness. See, they remove the organic, natural connectedness that people have, and turn it into a fake connectedness. Well, it's not fake, but they're using a technological, even though it was already there. They took away your connection to the earth, and if you connect to the earth, you're already connected to anybody else standing on it. If I'm standing on it barefooted and you're standing on it barefooted there, we are connected. 100%. Electrically. Like for real. That's how it works. Like you're electromagnetically, you're in the ground with that. You've grounded out into the same system. So like every electrical system, what does it have in common? The ground. It always is the commonality. You can find different sources of the electrical component of what's producing the electricity, but they all come back to the ground, and the ground is. See what I'm saying? So when you're connected to the ground, you're connected organically. But then when they try to connect you through artificially, like through this, still works. It's still doing something. It still allows people that are, say, connected and bound to, as a bridge worker, I'm connected and bound to the real world. But also, I like this world, and I like the technological world, and I can use this to interface and connect with people that don't have the capacity to take their shoes off. I mean, they do, but they don't. They don't have they don't have the connection to like other living, breathing, spirited, soul-filled humans, living gods. They don't. So the only choice, the only use, the benefit to this is I can interact with them through this. And we can, it's like, of course we could jump into the dream world, but not all of us are that, if I'm like, hey, connect with me in the dream world on Tuesday at midnight, we'll go chill here. Like, are we all that synced up and prepared to do that? No. Even the people that are really good at it aren't that great at it. But that's where we started. Dream time, Crunchy, the crunchy footing. Speaking of crunchy footing, I gotta piss. I don't know what that had to do with the other, but I do. So what else? What else should I get into here? But I'm thinking an hour and 20, and I kind of wanted to, it's like 3. Let me see where my charge is. My phone. Well, I did plug it in, so maybe I lucked out here. Okay, we're doing all right. I'm doing all right. What I'm here? Do I get a hangover from drinking beer? No. Not if I drink way too much. Oh yeah, sure. Just like anybody. But no, because because I drink a lot. I like drinking beer. I drink low percentage a lot of the day, but I also stay hydrated with other things. So I don't frequently deal with hangovers. If I had my druthers, I'd be drinking better beer, not out of an aluminum can. I would be drinking something that was living, something that was unpasteurized, unfiltered, but it would get expensive. If I do come up on my $369 trillion that I'm owed, I'd be drinking differently. But now, cans of beer, good enough hydration, a little bit of buzz, good times. Would I suggest to anybody else to consume and do what I do? No. Should most people have a couple of drinks every day? Sure. Have some wine, loosen up. I think most people should have a drink in the morning before they start the day, for a lot of reasons. Just the same reason people drink coffee in the morning, to exit their bowels and to get a little go-go juice in them. I think a lot of people, especially if you have regular jobs, keep you loose at work, man. Keep you out of being so stressed, so high-strung. Loosen you up a little bit. Or people that, after work, get a couple glasses of wine, wind down. It's good for you. It's healthy. Oh, bad. Anybody want to go into business and start a brewery with me? I've brewed beer before. Had a couple really great books. One, if anybody wants to look it up online, it's by Stephen Herod Buhner. It's called Herbal Healing. It's called Ancient Herbal Healing Beers. Oh, I forget the whole title. Something like that. Stephen Herod Buhner. Great book. Simple recipes, and goes into like the history of it, where it was made, why it was, and the recipes for making them. Good shit. A lot of them are mad simple to make too. Yeah, Herbal Healing and Sacred Beers, I think that's what it's called. Well, shit. Tell you the truth, man. For real, if anybody wanted to, depending on what goes on with the world as a totality and what goes on with the economic system, and with things are closing, things in and out, there's population's going to be changing, density of population, where people live. There's going to be, like, New Orleans since I've lived here, I think we went from like 2 breweries to like 20. So there's like 20 microbreweries around, and some pretty big ones too. And I'm sure due to this last year and change, a lot of them are like struggling. So they'll have the equipment, they'll have the business ready to go. So it might just work out. You definitely just walk into a place, equipment's already ready. You could manifest it. I'll start putting that in. I'll start putting that in my vision board and do some magic to get that to happen. If y'all want to, come to New Orleans. I'm telling you, the weather's better. As soon as all this rearranging happens, the city will be a phoenix rising from the ashes, I suppose. Stephen with an E-N, Stephen. His middle name is Herod, Harrod. and his last name is Buhner. Buhner. And he also wrote a really great book called Plant Intelligence and the Imaginal Realm. That book is fantastic. I've not made it through the whole thing because how densely written it is. It's like half scientific, half historical. Okay, I'm not going to use three halves. It's like a third scientific, a third historical, and a third poetry and interesting things about plant life. It's a really great book, and it's not something you can just open up and read from front to back. I mean, you could, I suppose, but I open it up and I just open to a page and I'm like, read a chapter and then just in and out to different chapters. Yes. So check it out, y'all. I really got to piss right now, and I just really know we're out here to do it. I don't want to not really have to piss it in the public in this ballpark. But I do. But there's enough people here. I fucking would love to stay on and chat with you guys. What you can do is email me at theoluminous, or after the show's over, go in the comments and write a question or a topic. You can do it there or email me. And I'm probably going to do at least one more show today, or I'll just combine the two together and do one later. And if you guys give me a couple curiosities that you have, maybe I'll add that to the show. But I'm gonna go get back to the crib for a second and take a piss and maybe change my clothes. A little chilly. But thanks for showing up. I hope everybody had fun. And you do know, again, as I will repeat for the this will be the fourth time. I am quite running on empty with currency these days. So if you want to help a brother out to pay rent, buy beers and shit, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, it's in the description box. Cash App is $, capital TSAR, capital XEN. Make sure you capitalize that X. And paypal.me/TSAR, capital XEN. And then the Venmo, you'd have to look. I don't remember. It's like Zen_Atman-1, something like that. So yeah, if it's $1 or $100 or $1,000, I appreciate it. And if you give me a grand, you don't owe me anything for the rest of the year. How's that? Until next year. So stay well, be weird, and as always, yeah, keep the pavement dry. I'm gonna go piss on a tree. And as always, be yourself because everybody else is already taken. Be weird, enjoy your day, and take care of others when you can. And if you cannot, just make sure you take care of yourself, because that's the only way you can take care of anybody else, is if you yourself are fully taken care of. So fill up your own cup, and then once you have enough, then you can fill other people's cups. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Pay it forward and all that shit. Good to see everybody. Be weird. Good to see you, Super Champion. Everybody else, stay weird. Bong bong. Bird God. Out of here. Talk soon, guys and chicas.